You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one will be provided for you. Trinzi versus Pagliaro states that the testimony of counsel in their arguments or in their briefs, though enlightening they may be, are not sufficient to make a summary judgment. This case ruling can be found in volume 229 of the Federal Supplement on page 647 and 648. Now, I've always wondered how people could live in a world where the amount of justice you get is based on the amount you could afford. I was born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut, the Constitution State. The local university is my front yard, and in the midst of it is the very green that the Amistad story unfolded on. On the edge of that green lies a courthouse that housed the very trials of Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton. Our current president had to refer to the local labor laws to justify giving away billions in stimulus money. Why? Because the laws of the Constitution State are the closest reflection of the Constitution itself. Over the years, I've come to notice what I consider the original threat to national security. The American society is being victimized by extreme psychological warfare. Today's judicial system is actively harvesting humans out of sheer greed and corruption. The power of the scheme lies in the fact that the average individual doesn't know basic courtroom procedure. But that's what this is all about. It's all about procedure. The United States Constitution was established to protect the people from tyranny, monopoly, and oppression. So how do we find ourselves in a society where it's more likely to catch a case before you catch a break? How come the entire cost of living is a calculated risk? How come the average individual can fill out a job application, apply for public assistance, and create debt for themselves, but can't apply for a loan to establish themselves due to a bad credit report, or easily find gainful employment due to what may or may not be found in their master file, whether it be a felony conviction or lack of proper qualification, yet and still be required to produce and provide on demand and at will. The secret lies in the fact that even the legendary mob trembles at the word prosecution. The average individual involved in what is known as criminology is only trying to feed their families and pay their bills. Of course, some are better at it than others. But when you have to wake up in the morning and figure out who the cop is, life can be pretty stressful. I'm pretty sure that the body count would be much lower if the common individual knew that the Constitution considers all verdicts null and void if any party was denied their due process during that process. All class of individual must be allowed to question their accuser directly, and there is no lawyer anywhere who can testify on the record in their behalf. A lawyer's role is to only assist and advise, even if the judge themselves has to verbalize such an open court. The court itself only has the power to hear and decide a case if there are two competent witnesses to argue a case with first-hand knowledge of the matters in dispute. During criminal prosecution, the administration will attempt to use a lawyer to represent a person you never met and use the testimony of other people to find you guilty of a crime. The first witness being the officer who filed the police report, the second being the actual so-called victim. The court needs a competent witness to hear the case, neither of which is any of these people. Therefore, the court lacks subject matter jurisdiction. Until the person seeking jurisdiction proves it on the record, all proceedings are immediately suspended. Being that the state or a lawyer can never be competent witnesses, the courts will never have subject matter jurisdiction, so the accused should move for a dismissal due to lack of subject matter jurisdiction, and never swear in to testify against a person you don't know, because all of this will be irrelevant after that. Download the federal and local practice books to your devices, and be willing to file suit against anyone attempting to infringe on your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We are the rank and the file. We are the people they do this in the name of. If you choose to be fooled, you will continue to be fooled. But I have children that I have to protect, and I will not let you have them. For those of us who are of a religious faith and attend a Christian congregation and study their word, chapter and verse, you can go into the law library and you can study case law, chapter and verse, and you can effectively argue any point that you wish to be made in any given court of law. It is not rocket science. If you can read and you can write, you can study and show yourself approved. I challenge any and all individuals. Prove me wrong. Thank you, and have a nice day.